A good look at BBVA Compass Stadium on the east side of downtown Houston, Texas. Jess McDonald and the Houston Dash set to host Sky Blue FC and Kelly O'Hara, two of the hottest teams since the end of the World Cup, trying to get back on the right foot here at the early part of August. Welcome inside the broadcast booth with Jen Cooper. I'm Matt Peterson. Jen, these are two of the hottest teams in July. A minor setback at the beginning of the month, but with just 5 games left, both looking to close the gap in the playoff place.
And it's such a different position for both these teams than a year ago today when the Dash hosted Sky Blue here at BBVA. Last year, this time, the Dash had already been eliminated from the playoffs. Now they're in that 4th spot with a chance to make the playoffs for the first time. Sky Blue this time last year was at the end of a great run of wins all strung together. They almost made the playoffs, didn't succeed. This year, their back is really against the wall. If that streak is going to happen, it has to start tonight.
Well, the Dash, last time we were here was about 10 days ago. A memorable win, 3-2. Carly Lloyd with the great goal in the 85th minute. She got Player of the Month honors, but the Dash went on the road. 4th game in 12, maybe ran out of steam at Washington.
That was a really tough match for the Dash, and we saw some lineup changes as a result of that travel. And, of course, missing Morgan Bryant for that game was a big piece, too. But they've had a week's rest, and I think they're ready to take these 3 points. These are so much more important points than the ones we've had recently, because coming up after this game, you've got Seattle on the road and then Seattle back at home. So arguably the best team in the league right now. They have to be thinking about that, how crucial these 3 points are tonight. So, looking at the standings, you can see, Seattle right up top there.
Yeah, Seattle, top of the league. The Dash holding on to 4th place, but 3 close pursuers. Portland and Kansas City a point back. Western New York is 2 back, and Sky Blue 5 games back, or 5 games left to make up a 4-point gap. Let's get to our players to watch, beginning with Sky Blue FC and their forward, Kelly O'Hara, one of the hottest players in the league. As we saw here, a huge goal against Germany, her first international goal. Not a big part of the group stage for Jill Ellis, but a huge player off the bench in the later stages, and she's carried that form. 3 goals in her last 3 games for Sky Blue FC.
And what a way to start your international scoring career and come back to the league. 3 goals, 3 games. She was not originally a member of the 2011 Women's World Cup team, came on last minute to replace Lindsay Tarpley, ended up playing every minute of the Olympics in 2012, and was such a clutch player for the USA this past summer, coming on when you had Rapinoe and Holiday out with yellow card accumulation. Just such an impact player, and that goal against Germany was huge.
So versatile, a defender early in her international career. She mostly played midfield at this World Cup. She's an out-and-out forward for Sky Blue FC.
And she was a forward in college at Stanford, so great to have a versatile player like that on Jim Gabarra's lineup.
And now our player to watch for the Houston Dash, it's Jess McDonald. The Dash lost 3-1 last week at Washington, but she had the lone goal, her 7th of the year, looking like another good trade for Randy Waldrum and Brian Ching. 7 goals on the season for McDonald. We saw this one here, a big one that gave the Dash a 2-1 lead against FC Kansas City, smashing it past Nicole Barnhart. So a draft day trade that brought McDonald from the Rose City to the Bayou City, and she's frequently gone on the end of crosses from Ojai.
She was the leading scorer for Portland last season with 11 goals, leading scorer for Houston this season with 7 goals so far. And as much attention as we've been giving Carly Lloyd's goals and Kaylee Ojai's goals, Jessica McDonald's such a huge piece of Randy Waldrum's offense this season.
And a big national championship, we'll get to it a little bit more, a rival against Kelly O'Hara up in College Station in 2009.
They know each other well.
We'll talk about it more on the broadcast. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we have starting lineups, injury report, and more. Just minutes away from kickoff, it's the Houston Dash and Sky Blue FC.
BHP Billiton is a leading global resources company with mining and oil and gas interests worldwide. Our reputation is built on proven performance, helping provide the energy that keeps the world moving, cities growing, communities thriving. And we combine this innovative spirit with a commitment to sustainability, developing natural resources with responsibility and integrity, today and for years to come. BHP Billiton, resourcing the future.
As a BBVA Compass customer, you have the chance to show your true colors every time you open your wallet.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Presenting Dynamo Banking, featuring debit and credit card options that can help you reach your goals. Open your account today at any of our 80 locations in Houston or online at bbvacompass.com/dynamo. Team works in soccer and in banking.
From the first time the ball hit the back of the net, we could feel a sport on the rise. Our passion burning, our tradition building, our city united. Amongst a sea of orange, we are the home field advantage. We began, we will remain, forever orange, forever one.
He's taking the world by storm. Grammy-nominated Ed Sheeran, live in concert. BBVA Compass Stadium, September 3rd, with special guest Christina Perri. Tickets on sale now at bbvacompassstadium.com, axs.com, or by phone. The #1 selling album, Multiply, is in stores and online now. There's more at edsheeran.com. Produced by AEG Live and the Messina Group.
Learn soccer the Dynamo way and start your path to the pros. The Houston Dynamo offer youth programs for every age and skill level, from a challenging introduction to soccer to intensive competition training and opportunities to play for the Dynamo Academy.
This is Ricardo Clark of the Houston Dynamo. The Dynamo youth programs offer the professional environment required to develop your game and prepare you for success.
To find out more or to register for Dynamo youth programs, visit HoustonDynamo.com.
Welcome back. Christy Rampone and Ella Masser, the captains meeting at midfield. Let's get to the starting lineups first for Sky Blue and their head coach, Jim Gabera. 2 changes. Stanton and Cutshall come into the team. And Christy Rampone, the 40-year-old, 5 World Cups veteran. But I think the one to watch tonight for us, Jen, Nadia Nadim, a hat trick almost a year ago today.
She's got to be thinking about that. As much as she struggled early on in the season, and now she's really found her footing over the last month, she's got to come into BBVA thinking, hey, I had a hat trick here.
And now the starting lineup for the Houston Dash under Randy Waldrum, currently 4th place in the division. 2 changes. Morgan Bryan comes back into the team for Rachel Axon. She is back from a groin injury suffered against Kansas City about a week and a half ago. And then Melissa Henderson starts again in place of Camilla. So it's basically the first choice lineup. Erin McLeod had a shin injury, and she starts tonight. Quick look at our injury report. It's brought to you by Houston Methodist, the official healthcare provider of the Houston Dash. Bach, Alicia Chapman, Stephanie Oakes, and Lauren Sesselman all still out for the Houston Dash. And now for Sky Blue, Maya Hayes and Kim DeCesar. They are both out. A couple probable, Shauna Gordon and Kristen Grubka. Grubka, she started last week. She is not in the lineup tonight after her meniscus injury. We are set to go. The Dash in their home orange. There is Morgan Bryan and Carly Lloyd. Sky Blue in the sky blue tops, blue shorts, blue socks. A warm night here in Houston, Texas, as is the norm this time of year. But a big one. Sky Blue trying to make another late run to the playoffs, and the Houston Dash trying to get to the playoffs for the first time in their brief 2-year history. We are underway. Our referee tonight is Christopher Spivey, and the Dash attacking from our right to our left. Sky Blue in possession off the kickoff. Tony Presley settling. Brush out of the back for Houston. Randy Waldrum talked to us yesterday, said he wanted to press high, make it difficult on Sky Blue, see how they react to this weather. Good combination play early on. Look at that back heel from Carly Lloyd. but good defending Caitlin Ford to negate a pass to McDonald's. There's Rampone out of the back for Sky Blue. McDonald does well to deny the clearance. It's a deep throw-in for Sky Blue FC.
And Matt, it's important to note that this season, when scoring first, the Dash have not lost. So there's definitely value in that pressing high and fast to start.
We've seen them fall behind early at home as a shaky back pass makes it to McLeod. Good skill from the Canadian goalkeeper. And she calmly pulls it back right in front of the Australian forward, Sam Kerr. But Jen, we were here against Kansas City at the end of July, and Lauren Holiday deflected goal in the 3rd minute. Dash would go up 2-1, concede a late equalizer, but then Lloyd saved the day.
Such an incredible match and a great crowd for that one too, 3rd largest in Dash history. That's
a great ball from Andressa. Oh, to the near post. Great diving save, Brittany Cameron. She showed her athleticism there, diving far to her right. Beautiful build-up, Jen. It started with the ball from the 20-year-old Brazilian Andressa in her 3rd start tonight. Put in Ojai, and a nice cutback ball from Ojai, but Cameron had it read well in front of McDonald.
And a great stretch from the keeper, and she leads the league in saves, and I think that's going to make save number 74 for her, which is a good 30 ahead of the next person. She's had a lot of work to do this season.
One of those saves came against the Dash on a penalty as a good service from the left is handled easily by McLeod. That came from O'Hara. Jess McDonald at Sky Blue May 31st had a penalty. Cameron dove to her right, stopped it. Luckily for the Dash, Allie Bailey, an amateur player at that point, she saved the day. A goal after the 80th minute for a road point. So 3rd meeting this year. The first 2 were in New Jersey, both 1-1 draws. The Dash getting Sky Blue at home for the first time this year.
And as we mentioned in the pregame, very different teams on both sides of the pitch compared to those 1-1 draws. We're not going to see the same teams. We're not going to see the same performance.
McLeod forward, Ojai battling with Rampo, and the offside flag comes up. That is our far side referee, Francisco Bermudez. Our near side referee, Benjamin Wooten. 4th official, Michael Laverne. McLeod had a doctor's appointment this morning, so she very well could have missed this game, but the doctor's appointment gave clearance. It would have been Bianca Henninger to start, but McLeod, despite the 3 goals allowed last week, has been in form really all year, including stellar run at the World Cup in Canada. Andressa unable to settle off the Master throw, and it's a throw-in now for Sky Blue on the far side. Just underway with Jen Cooper on Matt Peterson. 4th minute, Sky Blue FC on the road at Houston. And Jen, one thing to keep an eye on, Master, as we like to talk about, 4 yellow cards, 1 more tonight, and she would miss the away game at Seattle.
And I think that was a reason with that first run by Crystal Dunn that created the first goal last weekend, that she kind of held off and didn't risk that foul, because that would have been yellow card number 5.
A corner kick now to Sky Blue, but the Dash adding depth at outside back today. Jen LaPont, great story, 3 years basically in an amateur role, not finding a home. She has found one for the moment in Houston. We'll get into that more in a moment, but for now it's Kelly O'Hara to take this corner kick for Sky Blue. Good ball towards the back post beyond everybody, including Nadia Nadim, and it's a Houston throw-in. So LaPont has played 5 times this year, and she gained the contract today. It was announced with the retirement of Nikki Cross, an extra roster spot for the Dash. And LaPont, just a great story. We see her working day in, day out, even on Dash off days in the hot Houston sun.
And she played with Bianca Henninger, the backup keeper at Santa Clara, and she's trained with at least 4 of the NWSL clubs, including Houston. This is her first night where she's wearing that jersey, and she's actually on a contract.
We have Brian Ching in the booth at halftime. The Dash managing director will get his thoughts on Jen LaPont. Nice turn from Lloyd. Lloyd going towards the end line, and good defending in the end. It's a goal kick for Sky Blue FC. I believe that was Lindsay Cutshaw. That sealed off Lloyd, shoulder to shoulder, and won the goal kick for Brittany Cameron. So Cutshall starts tonight, did not play last week in the 2-1 loss at Western New York. She is in there at center back next to Rampone. Dash regained possession off the goal kick. Well read that time. Katie Friels wins it from Morgan Bryan. Nadim, good ball, slipped through. Here come Sky Blue. Masser, good defending. She'll concede the corner kick, but it could have been a lot worse for the Dash. That was Cami Levin bursting forward from her left back position. Corner kick to Sky Blue, their second inside the first 7 minutes. And again, it's O'Hara to take. Driven, McLeod just enough, palming it away, still alive in the area. Settled by Bryan. Hard challenge against Morgan Bryan. But Spivey will allow it. No yellow card. Tackle, I believe, came from Nikki Stanton, another starter who missed last week's game. Nothing gets past the keeper, and that's why you should listen to the Keeper Note Soccer Show every Sunday at 10 a.m. on Yahoo Sports Radio 1560. For more info, check out keepernotes.com. Every Sunday, 10 to 11 on YSR1560.com. Jen, any plans for Sunday? Kind of depends on this game and maybe the Dynamo game tomorrow.
It depends a lot on tonight and tomorrow, but of course there's always good soccer chatter, always good soccer trivia, and the trivia bomb that I wanted to drop tonight that I teased was, could anybody name the only couple where both members of the couple have played in a senior FIFA final? And one of them is here tonight, but I don't think people are going to know the answer, so I'm just going to say it. Jim Gabara played in the Futsal World Cup final, and his wife was the Golden Ball winner in 1991, Karen Jennings Gabara.
Great fact. Good history as Klingenberg finds Ojai. Her shot deflected, and the Dash will have their first corner of the night. So that's the kind of stuff you get on the Keeper Note Soccer Show.
I'm hoping it's stuff you can't get anywhere else.
I had no idea, Jen.
Well, I always love to give props to people who have been part of the women's soccer landscape for so long. And Jim Gabara, all 9 seasons of women's pro soccer as a coach.
Henderson set to deliver the corner kick. Near the spot, McDonald was closest, but a good clearing header that time by Nadia Nadim, the Sky Blue forward. 9th minute, bright start. As Klingenberg serves, Cameron off her line, and the offside flag was up, either on Tony Presley or Jess McDonald. Dash controlling possession early on, but Sky Blues had a few breaks, including the one for Cami Levin, the 25-year-old left back. Here comes Andressa. Third start, signed right after the Pan Am Games, in which Brazil won the gold medal, as the flag comes up on Ojai. So it seems, Jen, like a high line so far for Jim Gabara and Sky Blue. They made the Dash offside 2 or 3 times. Dash not a team that is found to be offside too often.
And if you watch the Sky Blue game last week where they lost kind of in the final minute to Western New York Flash, they had so many chances. It was high pressure the whole game. They just weren't finishing in the final third.
Look at that skill that time by Friels, but good clearance in the end. It was a bad giveaway by Klingenberg that started the move. Now Friels trying to return it. Kerr through the middle. Some contact. It's a corner kick for Sky Blue. So it all started Klingenberg. Her clearance in the edge of the box picked up by Sky Blue. As we see the replay, and here is the challenge. Ellie Brush against Nadia Nadim, and a corner kick for Sky Blue. So pretty sweet move, Jen, by Katie Friels, dancing on top of it. One leg over the other, and a 360.
And she is their leading scorer for the season. She carried that load while the World Cup players were away.
O'Hara's delivery, no problem, caught by McLeod. She quickly throws it out for Ojai. Maybe a bit too much on it, but you can never blame the goalkeeper there. Overthrowing an outlet. The result is a throw-in, but I think a nice thought that time by McLeod, using the speed of Ojai, and a good throw from the Canadian international. There's Rampone. 5 World Cups, 308 caps with the U.S. The captain of this year's her championship team as the ball is put through. Brushed as just enough, deflected, and it's going to be another corner kick. Lloyd was basically the on-field captain for most of the tournament, but Rampone given a lot of respect by her teammates.
I like that in the trophy presentation in Vancouver that Abby made Christy come with her so that they lifted the trophy together as they received it together as captains.
Kelly O'Hara with the corner. Chested down by Masser. Back to O'Hara. And a free header that time that was put high and wide. That was Kerr with an opportunity. The Australian 21-year-old, already 42 caps to her name. Be sure to visit HoustonSoccerShop.com for all your Dash gear. Grab a Carly Lloyd jersey or any of the Dash players' gear straight from your phone, tablet, or laptop at HoustonSoccerShop.com. McLeod this time goes short to Klingenberg. We're scoreless in the 12th minute.
You know, at as many accolades as Christy Rampone gets about being 5-time, World Cup player, 308 caps, second only to Christine Lilly, something that's not mentioned very often is that she led Sky Blue to the WPS Championship title in 2009. She was named coach just with 2 games left in the regular season. They had 3 playoff games in 8 days, all on the road. She took him to the title.
Andressa knocked over behind the play. Spivey, the referee, plays advantage. And McClingenberg with a low service. Yeah, that is quite the story. It ain't over till it's over, I guess, right?
Though she said after that, she goes, "I'm fine just being a player. I don't really want to do that again." And then, of course, a month later, she announced she was pregnant. So that tells you she was juggling a lot of things.
She's talked before about how when she was asked to be the national team captain, she was hesitant at first, didn't think of herself as a natural fit for the position, but after giving it some thought, took it with open arms.
And it was Pia Sundaga who reached out to her, right? Yeah.
So a good thought there. She was captain for 2 Olympics and a couple World Cups.
And she's talked about one of the reasons she's been able to go so long is playing so many different sports.
Presley clears. It's a deep throw in for Sky Blue. I thought this was fascinating. 26 World Cup games in her career, Christy Rampone.
That's not even the record. Of course, you know who has the record?
No.
Christine Lilly.
All right.
30. I mean, if Christy had been able to play this tournament, she would have broken that record.
Service towards the back post, but a bit too heavy. That came from Caitlin Ford, another one who might have a lot of caps to her name when it's all said and done. 35 for Ford, the 20-year-old. She's already been to 2 World Cups. She was the youngest, or the best young player of the 2011 edition.
And the youngest Australian to ever represent the Matildas at a Women's World Cup. It's so impressive, the players from Australia and New Zealand, how young they get pulled into the system and the experience they get. So, yeah, I could see someone like Caitlin Ford, if she's still playing when she's Christy Rampone age, all these records we're talking about are toast.
Yeah, she had her senior debut a month before the tournament in May of that year.
And scored in that debut.
And then a month later, she's the best young player. Here's a chance for Sky Blue. Good first touch from Kerr. Masser recovers well. Good defending Ella Masser against Sam Kerr. Cami Levin overlapping on the left. Ojai tracking back well. Good defending from Ojai. And a throw into the Houston Dash.
Now, this is not quite the back and forth match that we saw last week against Kansas City. This has been mostly in the Dash's end.
The Dash unbeaten in 3 before their 3-1 loss at Washington. Back-to-back wins in there against Western New York and Kansas City. As Klingenberg finds Lloyd, she goes down. Good strength that time by Caitlin Ford. But Bryan wins it back. World Cup players going toe-to-toe on both ends in that sequence. And here's Friels. Sky Blue a similar 2 wins and draw sequence at the end of July as the offside flag comes up, but they too lost last Saturday at Western New York. So 2 teams that carried some strong form out of the World Cup, trying to get back on the right foot in August.
And signing Sam Kerr is huge for the club. She scored in her first ever appearance for Sky Blue on July 11th. You know, she spent previous seasons at Western New York Flash, so she's not an unknown to NWSL fans. Was a big part of Australia's run at the Women's World Cup this summer.
Rampone with the header. Bryan with Klingenberg. And it's back to Ellie Brush. And Dressa just enough on the toe poke, but Masser couldn't keep it in. Throw into Sky Blue. A little bit more continuity now at the Dash. We'll enjoy it a lot more next week going into Seattle, but Carly Lloyd had really her first practice in Houston since before the World Cup on Thursday. And she talked to reporters about finally getting back to getting normal sleep, getting normal diet. She said she likes to have 9 hours of sleep and got far from that in the post-World Cup frenzy.
And who knows how many, you know, thousands of frequent flyer miles.
At New York, LA, Las Vegas, all over. Houston, she would meet the team on the road for some road games, but when asked how she made it through it, still performed. She was the league's player of the month in July. She said a lot of it's mental. You can kind of visualize yourself in those moments beforehand, and if you are on short sleep and not the best nutrition, you can still perform. Masser. Service to the top of the area, cleared away by Ford. Good work from Andressa. Now Lloyd, first touch towards goal. Good defending. That was Sarah Killian. Number 2 overall pick by Sky Blue this year, 1 pick behind Morgan Bryan.
When I talked to Tom Sermani earlier this year, told him about the draft.
Here's Ojai, and the flag comes up once again. So Sky Blue, a good tight line, probably the 4th or 5th time. The Dash had been offside. That time it was Ojai, in the view of our far side referee, Francisco Bermudez.
Yeah, when Tom Sermani, I told him about the draft that had just happened, his first question was, where did Sarah Killian get picked? Sermani had called her into camp in early 2014. She hasn't had a cap yet for the national team, but I know there's a lot of people out there hoping and expecting that she'll be part of the next cycle.
Nadim runs it down. O'Hara. She expected Nadim to be running in behind her, but just gave it right to the Dash accidentally. Now McDonald's against Rampone. Rampone back to her goalkeeper, Cameron, and you see the experience there from Christy Rampone. Not the safest play, but she had a deft back pass, and Cameron had no problem with it. So much experience from Rampone on display there. Sky Blue, Kerr from distance, just past the crossbar. So a confident take from the 21-year-old Australian. She had 5 starts at the last World Cup, played every minute, did not score. 4 years ago, she was 17 when she played at the 2011 World Cup. dash on over to howlermagazine.com every Tuesday to check out the latest episode of The Mix Zone, the weekly women's soccer podcast hosted by Jen Cooper. The Mix Zone covers the U.S. women's national team and the NWSL. Subscribe via iTunes by searching for Howler. As Cameron throws it out, Jen, any tease of last week's show or anything on tap for next week?
August, the focus is Olympics because next August, the Olympics kick off in Rio. So I had two great guests to share their Olympic memories.
Good flighted ball from Friels. First time effort from Kerr, and she could not connect. So the dash let off the hook. Beautiful skill that time. Friels put it on a platter, and Kerr could not connect. But a beautiful link-up play between Friels and Kerr, who continues to be dangerous against the dash tonight.
Yeah, so I got to speak to Bo Adua from SoccerWire.com last week about his trip to the 2008 Olympics, covering women's soccer in China and all the travel stories. And also Houstonian Sophia Smith, who played at Cornell, and she also played for Greece in the 2004 Olympics because she's half Greek. They recruited a lot of Greek Americans for that tournament. That's Greece's first and only so far appearance in a women's finals tournament.
O'Hara. Stanton for Cutshaw. That should be very interesting over the next 12 months for Jill Ellis, who was just given a contract extension this week, paring down that 23-player roster down to 20 and then ultimately 18 before the games begin. Good knockdown that time by Nadim. Here comes Friels, and that one's just over the crossbar. So Friels, like Kerr, not afraid to have a go from about 30 yards out.
And it was made clear this week when the announcement was made about her new contract that Sunil Gulati said that she is free to call in whomever she wants during the Victory Tour. So we won't necessarily see just players from the Women's World Cup squad. That since you don't have a lot of time, you need to use those 10 games to maybe bring in a Sarah Killian or a Kaylee Ohai or Crystal Dunn.
Cameron off her line to clear. Dunn, of course, a hat trick against the dash last week. Good settle out of a flighted ball by Megan Klingenberg right there. So Dunn continues to build her MVP candidacy. Lloyd. McDonald pushed off the ball that time by Cutshaw.
I know you had asked me last week what I thought would happen in the Washington Spirit game. I said, you better watch Crystal Dunn.
A very different team than the one that came to Houston April 10th. As the Dash won 2-0 that night. Firmly in third place now in the NWSL standings.
And when Dash were at the Spirit on June 27th, that's one of the few games this season where the Dash were held scoreless, with the Spirit winning 1-0.
Klingenberg cuts inside against O'Hara. No great chances so far. The whiffed opportunity for Kerr, probably the best for Sky Blue. Dash yet to really test Cameron besides of a cross or two. Now it's Ohai running at 11. Ohai, low cross, cut down by Cutshaw. Sky Blue very organized. You see 8 field players behind the ball. As Ohai will have a go again at 11. And it's a goal kick. Very good defending by 11. She blocked it and had it go off the shins of Ohai as Cameron restarts quickly. Good settle from O'Hara against Klingenberg. Picks out Stanton. Stanton out of North Bend, Washington. Played at Fairfield University. Getting her 3rd start of the season tonight. Again, the offside flag comes up, this time on Sky Blue. After tonight, Sky Blue remains on the road. They'll go to Chicago sometime next week. The Dash, of course, beginning a huge home and home with Seattle Reign. At Seattle next Wednesday, and then home to Seattle Friday, August 21st. That's on Fox Sports 1, and what a save that time! Brittany Cameron, huge save against Henderson. The referee waving towards the corner flag, and Cameron comes up big. First time volley with the left foot. Came off the hand of Cameron, off the post, and off the Sky Blue defender. Corner kick for the Dash.
And that would have been Melissa Henderson's first Dash goal.
And her first regular season goal for any club in the NWSL. Here comes Henderson serving towards the back post and crossed over the end line on its way to Tony Presley, a goal kick to Sky Blue. Cameron now 28. The starter this season has played all but 9 minutes this year. Most games, most saves, most minutes of any NWSL goalkeeper.
And the first ever NWSL Player of the Week. She won the first honor back in 2013 in April for a shutout.
Presley called for a foul, had her arms raised that time as she challenged Nadia Nadim. So a free kick now in a dangerous spot for Sky Blue. Yeah, I think that's a good call. Extended arms that time from Presley on Nadim. Easy decision for Spivey. And that will be Rampone from about 32 yards away. As the Dash use a three-man wall. Klingenberg. Nearly there. Good service, good strength by McLeod. She came off her line, took some contact, and had no problem hanging on to that. That was Katie Friel's closest for Sky Blue. Here comes McDonald. Andressa towards the corner, and Levin concedes a throw-in. Long throw. Cameron bobbles momentarily, but Henderson called for a foul. Too much contact after it was a backward header by Lindsay Cutshall. Klingenberg. Goal kick, good defending that time against Nadia Nadim, who would not be denied. She has not had the kind of season she did a year ago. 3 goals in 14 games this year. Really took the league by storm last year.
I think it was like 7 goals in 5 games or something like that.
Absolutely, Jen, plus 3 assists and that hat trick almost a year ago to the day, August 9th of last year. A hat trick against the Dash.
And she's someone you wish had been at the Women's World Cup. She plays for Denmark, though born in Afghanistan. Denmark finishing 3rd in their group in UEFA qualifying. So you have to finish at least 2nd to go in the playoffs. So maybe next cycle, maybe 2019.
An incredible story. Nadia Nadim as Presley goes back to McLeod. Strong header from Levin, right to the feet of O'Hara. Stanton, and An easy save for McLeod. Nikki Stanton getting a rare start this season, but a good strike. Confident from about 25 yards away. Cutshall head towards the corner. Cameron confident off her line. She concedes the throw in. Well, Randy Waldrum told us yesterday Cameron likes to come off her line, likes to be involved. That time she gets involved. That's the final play before our first hydration break. Comes here in the 31st minute. Scoreless here at BBVA Compass Stadium due to the weather and the humidity here in Houston. We'll have our first hydration break, one more to come midway through the second half. Don't miss the Dynamo take on the San Jose Earthquakes August 8th at 8 p.m. right here at BBVA Compass Stadium. Tickets are on sale now. Log on to HoustonDynamo.com. That's a big one tomorrow night. Dominic Kinnear coming back for his second visit to Houston. Limited tickets remain, approaching a sellout, but the Dynamo trying to get back into the Western Conference playoff places. Jen, we were talking about Nadia Nadim, a good time as ever. Really an amazing story. As you said, born in Afghanistan, forced to leave age 12 with her mom and 4 sisters after her father tragically murdered. And a long route to get to Denmark, and now she's here in Sky Blue.
And we're not speaking in cliches when we say this is someone who escaped the Taliban. Her family escaped the Taliban. So amazing to see what they were able to do in Denmark, and then this opportunity for her in the U.S. And I think it can really raise her game, and I hope it'll raise Denmark's game, you know, as a country. You know, talking about women's World qualifying, Europe is just about to start qualifying for the Women's Euro for 2017. Starting with the September FIFA dates, you're going to see Europe, the European women's teams, go into their, I think it's like a 1.5 year long qualifying process for the 2017 Women's Euro that will be in the Netherlands.
Not allowed to play in Afghanistan. When she gets to Denmark, she sees boys playing with girls. Shy at first, but ultimately asked to play, a coach.
And you were telling me the videos you watched of interviews with Nadia that she was not shy at all.
Not shy at all, so she's turned a corner. But they said one of her first days in New Jersey, she jumped in the ocean in February, no problem at all.
Now that's crazy.
But as soon as she turned 18, she was allowed to play for Denmark due to the FIFA rules, and now we're 50 caps with Denmark. An amazing story, I think, not just as a professional soccer player from Afghanistan, but she's not far from completing med school. She's studying to be a surgeon. So 3 semesters from finishing, like to be a plastic surgeon, and wants to help people out that obviously need surgery for more than just cosmetic reasons. 27-year-old Nadia Nadim, great story.
And as much as we talk about her, we do not want her to repeat her hat trick tonight.
McDonald with the throw-in. Good flick, Henderson, and Ojai cannot keep it down. So a long throw-in from Jess McDonald presenting problems early on. We saw a backward header earlier from Cutshall. That time it was Henderson flicking to Ojai, and as she tried to beat Brittany Cameron, she could not keep it down. So the cooling break is over. We're back underway, 35th minute. They should add about 2 minutes to the end of the first half as part of first half stoppage time. Second consecutive home game with a cooling break. We had one here in the 3-2 dash win against FC Kansas City.
Yeah, it's only been a year since the league added the cooling break rule, and now MLS has a similar kind of policy. I think it makes a lot of sense when you've seen the combination of temperature and humidity that we've had in Houston the past few weeks.
Nadim inward towards O'Hara. Good work from Morgan Bryan winning it, launching the counterattack. And you see the skill from Nadim as he tries the back heel. It's a Houston dash throw-in. Should be another good crowd here tonight at BBVA Compass Stadium. There's over 6,000 for the big game against FC Kansas City back on July 29th. Expecting a near lower bowl sellout for the Seattle game. Here's Henderson onto her left. She pulls it wide. A good settle and a good turn, but could not test Cameron. So Henderson, her second good chance of the night here inside the first 36 minutes. She got just in behind Rampone. Good defending that time by Andressa, cutting down Katie Friels. Andressa with Bryan. It's an all-World Cup midfield. Andressa, Bryan, and Lloyd.
And I think it's so important that the Dash have Morgan Bryan back in the lineup. I mean, you were kind of missing those defensive teeth against Washington Spirit, and I think that really gave Crystal Dunn a lot more room to do the damage that she did.
Friels targeting Kerr, a bit too heavy, all the way to McLeod. And we talked about Friels, who's having a nice season. 5 goals, 2 assists this year, leads Sky Blue in goals, starts, and minutes among their field players. But Randy said, you know, she's always been sort of on that national team fringe. Can score long-range goals. Doesn't get enough credit. Said she's a solid player in this league. Here's Friels. Well, not as exciting as the last home game here, as there was 3 goals inside the first 16 minutes, 1 for Kansas City, 2 for the Dash. But I think an open game, neither team shying away from the heat.
Well, and get this stat, Matt, and I didn't realize this until I was watching the Washington Spirit broadcast. That was the first game, that Wednesday night game in Kansas City, that the Dash have scored within the first 15 minutes.
Here's an opportunity. O'Hara mishit it. Levin back to the middle, and it's her once again. Nadia Nadim, a hat trick here a year ago, and she gives Sky Blue a 1-0 lead here in the 38th minute. It's her 4th of the season. She must love playing here in Houston, Texas. Miss hit that time by O'Hara, but it worked out. I believe that was Levin. A good cross under some pressure as Jess McDonald tracked all the way back to deal with the left back for Sky Blue. So Levin with the assist, Nadine with the goal, her 4th of the season. Last goal, July 19th at Western New York in that wild 3-3 draw. So the Dash fall behind once again at home. They did it against FC Kansas City. Ultimately won 3-2, but not a trend Randy Waldrum is happy with, I'm sure.
Of course, in that Kansas City match, they were only behind for about 10 minutes of the entire game.
Here's Kerr. Friels, good first touch. Back to Kerr. And she gets a shot away, but Klingenberg did enough challenging against Friels. So, against Kerr, rather. It's a very deft pass by Friels, outside of the right foot, in behind Klingenberg.
So this is the 3rd match for the season, all 3 matches for Dash versus Sky Blue, that Sky Blue has scored first. Now, previous 2 meetings, Dash have come back and tied it. Of course, we want more than a tie tonight. I know Randy Waldrum wants more than a tie. When you're looking with just 5 games left, those 3 points are going to be crucial.
Friels once again gets through 2. Expected a run by Nadine, but it did not come. That was excellent dribbling as she cut through Morgan Bryan and Presley. McDonald for Ojai. Ford Good position. And now Rampone out of the back for Sky Blue.
I know one bit of contention that we had with the cooling breaks last year. You know, the first and only cooling break that we saw here was when the Dash hosted Seattle. And, you know, I know there were, you know, some that felt that it's an unfair advantage to the team coming in that can't adjust to the heat, gets that break. You know, so I'm sure there's some fans that might argue that that cooling break gives a little advantage to Sky Blue.
Good layoff by Ojai. The return ball from McDonald, too much. Goal kick to Sky Blue. Yeah, it's one of those that the home team is always going to feel a little bit shortchanged.
Though you can also argue that, well, it's whoever has the momentum when the break is called, then they lose the advantage of having that momentum.
Yeah, I think it's something that's not going to. We saw it at the Men's World Cup last year in certain games. Modern technology and safety being emphasized more and more. It's something that, like I said.
So I have to ask you, Matt, if we do have the World Cup in Qatar, would they have a cooling break maybe every 15 minutes?
No, I think this is the most it will be for a long time. Is if you do it once per half for a short couple of minutes.
Now your answer was supposed to be there's not going to be a World Cup in Qatar.
Not my choice. Here's Brian. Some frustration showing by the Dash players. We see Carly Lloyd telling Brian to calm down. Brian wanted a different run from Jess McDonald, but as we've said, these Dash players haven't had a lot of continuity. Brian has probably been here most among the World Cup returnees, but she's been hurt with that groin injury. It's kept her out a lot, although she did train last 2 days of this week. And there she is with a good tackle that time against Nadine, but Lloyd's just getting back into the mix. She wins possession, good 1-2 with Henderson. Early ball, and Cameron, who likes to hang out outside of that penalty area, clears. It's gonna come for the Dash, but for Randy Waldrum and the coaching staff, I hope that the team gains enough points over these final 5 games to get into the playoffs. After tonight, 2 home, 2 away, but the 2 road games, very difficult tests. At Seattle, then the final day of the season at Chicago, the 2 top teams in the league at the moment.
And that Chicago game will be at Toyota Park instead of their usual venue out in at St. Benedictine's.
McDonald just couldn't keep it in off the Masser throw. Another goal kick to Cameron.
And I'm sure Randy wants that goal to come before halftime, because being able to go into the locker room with some momentum, feeling that you've, you know, drawn things back level.
He told us yesterday he wanted his team to press high and really make things difficult for Sky Blue, but that hasn't really transpired in this first half. You see Sky Blue here building really with ease out of the back here at the end of the first half. So maybe Randy's adjusted his game plan here at the end of the half, but I can't recall too many times in this first 45 minutes where Sky Blues had a lot of pressure coming out of the back. So credit to them. Thrown in by Nadim. Kept alive by Kerr. O'Hara lays it back. And a nice job by Andressa to step in front of Sarah Killian. Here comes Ojai. 4 versus 5 for the Dash. McDonald. And it's Henderson with the third opportunity. That might have came off her shoulder. So Henderson forced a great save from Cameron with their first chance. The second one she pulled wide this time. I think it came off that left shoulder. Beautiful service from Jess McDonald. And we're going to have 3 minutes of time added on here at the end of this first half. Jen, we typically don't see Henderson this close to goal on the night or on the season, but on this night, she has been the primary person with those darting runs from the wing in behind the center backs for Sky Blue.
And we've also seen Kaleo High coming as far back to the other corner flag, so I think they're kind of balancing each other out. I talked briefly with Brian Ching today about, you know, how he feels like this is the strongest lineup they've ever had, and we'll be talking to him at halftime. He says he'd like still to look, you know, going into 2016, are there a couple changes they can make so that maybe Carly doesn't have to do nearly as much defensive work in the middle and really join in that frontline attack.
Here is Lloyd defending right there against Nadim. No look pass for Friels. And now Cami Levin. O'Hara. Good defending by Basser, and Brush goes back to McLeod. Frustrating first half for the Dash, I would say. Cameron came up big on the best chance, as now it's lost, and a hard tackle. That might be a yellow card, as seemed to be a lot of thought that time from Sarah Killian to slow the counterattack. We'll see the decision from Christopher Spivey, and indeed she goes in the book. I think a good decision there, as the Dash may have had a 2 versus 2 or 2 versus 3 as we see the replay, and Killian just reached out and fouled Carly Lloyd. First booking of the night, it's Killian in first half stoppage time.
And that's her second on the 2015 season.
Now the Dash put numbers forward. Presley will serve this from the center circle. And Cameron makes the claim right at the edge of the 6-yard box. That was Carly Lloyd looking to flick it on. McDonald finds Bryan. Lloyd, she's fouled once again as she turns, that time past Cutshaw. So some frustration for Lloyd, fouled twice in 2 minutes. Can the Dash capitalize off this set piece?
Very likely the last play of the half.
We'll see if Lloyd tries to challenge Cameron herself from about 35 yards, or if she targets a teammate. Lloyd against a 2-man wall. She'll go through the wall, and it's off the mark. So similar distance to her goal at Kansas City a few weeks ago, but this one could not test the Sky Blue goalkeeper. We are at halftime from BBVA Compass Stadium, and Sky Blue with Nadia Nadim in front 1-0 a year after her hat trick here in Houston. She has come back to torment the Dash a bit more. We will be back for our halftime show. Brian Ching, the Dash managing director, will join us in the second segment, highlights and more. Halftime from Houston, Sky Blue FC 1, the Dash 0.
As a BBVA Compass customer, you have the chance to show your true colors every time you open your wallet.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Presenting Dynamo Banking, featuring debit and credit card options that can help you reach your goals. Open your account today at any of our 80 locations in Houston or online at bbvacompass.com/dynamo. Team works in soccer and in banking.
From the first time the ball hit the back of the net, we could feel a sport on the rise. Our passion burning, our tradition building, our city united. Amongst a sea of orange, we are the home field advantage. We began, we will remain, forever orange, forever one.
pioneering ways to protect neurons and give ALS patients more time. Personalizing drug treatments to treat the most aggressive breast cancer. Performing multi-organ transplants to fight the most complex illnesses. Creating options for patients who thought they had none. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
In Texas, and at halftime it's Sky Blue FC 1, the Houston Dash nothing. Welcome inside the broadcast booth with Jen Cooper. I'm Matt Peterson. Jen, disappointing first 45 minutes for the Houston Dash, but a whole half to correct it.
Yeah, we've seen in the two previous meetings this season that Sky Blue scored first. Both times Dash came back to tie it. Of course, tie is not what Randy Waldham is looking for here. Did seem like they had a pretty slow start, but towards the end we were starting to see more chances for the Dash, especially that last, 45th minute plus free kick for Carly Lloyd.
Let's get to those highlights from this first half. Entertaining first 45 minutes, beginning with an early opportunity as Friels plays it across, and a corner kick for Sky Blue. And another opportunity for Sky Blue from the corner kick. Aaron McLeod, a good claim, and a quick throw out to Ojai. And then it was Jess McDonald against Rampone, but Rampone so much composure going back to Brittany Cameron. And O'Hara. Shot well over the bar. That was from Friels, I should say. And off the foot, it falls, and Henderson forcing the best save of the half from Brittany Cameron. It came off her hand, off the post, and off a Sky Blue defender. Rampone with the delivery. Good strength by Aaron McLeod. Nikki Stanton getting involved in the first half, her third start of the season. And then Presley over the top. Good takedown by Henderson, but then her shot let her down. And here was the goal. Miss hit by O'Hara. Beautiful service from Cami Levin. And it's her again, Nadia Nadim. Brave header inside Toni Presley into the bottom corner. After a hat trick a year ago, she gets her fourth goal this season, and wouldn't you know it, it comes against the Dash. Late opportunity, McDonald serving, and comes off the shoulder of Melissa Henderson. She had three good chances in this game. And then a late free kick from Lloyd, sort of sliced on her. She tried the bend against Kansas City a few weeks ago at Swell Bet time. She tried to drive it. Here's our first half stats. Close in shots, slide advantage for the Dash. Corner kick, slide advantage for Sky Blue, and a few fouls in this one. We will take a break. When we come back, Dash Managing Director and Houston Dynamo legend Brian Ching to join us. We'll talk about Jen LaPont and Dressa, the playoff push, and more. Halftime in Houston, it's Sky Blue 1, Houston Dash nothing.
As a BBVA Compass customer, you have the chance to show your true colors every time you open your wallet.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Presenting Dynamo Banking, featuring debit and credit card options that can help you reach your goals. Open your account today at any of our 80 locations in Houston or online at bbvacompass.com/dynamo. Team works in soccer and in banking.
BHP Billiton is a leading global resources company with mining and oil and gas interests worldwide. Our reputation is built on proven performance, helping provide the energy that keeps the world moving, cities growing, communities thriving. And we combine this innovative spirit with a commitment to sustainability, developing natural resources with responsibility and integrity, today and for years to come. BHP Billiton, resourcing the future.
Learn soccer the Dynamo way and start your path to the pros. The Houston Dynamo offer youth programs for every age and skill level, from a challenging introduction to soccer to intensive competition training and opportunities to play for the Dynamo Academy.
This is Ricardo Clark of the Houston Dynamo. The Dynamo youth programs offer the professional environment required to develop your game and prepare you for success.
To find out more or to register for Dynamo youth programs, visit HoustonDynamo.com.
From the first time the ball hit the back of the net, we could feel a sport on the rise. Our passion burning, our tradition building, our city united. Amongst a sea of orange, we are the home field advantage. We began, we will remain, forever orange, forever one.
Uniquely mapping a patient's brain to remove tumors without damaging healthy tissue. Navigating a patient's heart in real time with unprecedented accuracy. And visualizing facial reconstruction before the first incision. Seeing better so we can heal you better. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Back here at halftime, it's Sky Blue 1, Houston Dash nothing. Welcome back to the broadcast booth, and we are delighted to be joined by Houston Dash Managing Director Brian Ching. Brian, let's start with Jen LaPont. Now, she was signed today, 3 years, 5 teams, no contract until today. Take us through the process of giving her a contract.
She's one of those players that has been fantastic, with great attitude. She came in and she sorry for the technical difficulties. She's one of those players that has been working really, really hard. All the players, as soon as we signed her, were like, wow, congratulations, this is a great job. I mean, it was a very emotional time for her, but, having said that, she's worked really, really hard and really deserved this. And, when Nikki Cross retired, and thanks, Nikki, for all of her service, it really opened up the door for Jen to step in, and, really happy to have her on the team now.
A nice light at the end of the tunnel for all the amateurs out there that hard work can pay off.
Yeah, definitely. I think you see Jen, she's out there every day after training, working on the things she needs to work on, asking the coaches what she needs to get better at, and, hats off to her. She worked herself on this team, and she definitely deserves this contract.
Andressa with her 3rd start in a row. Take us through the process. She was just at the Pan Am Games, a starter at 20 years old for Brazil. How'd you get her here?
She's a superstar. I think if anybody sees her on the field, they know that she's instantly a special player. And for us to get her, we feel very fortunate. But obviously we saw her in the World Cup. We knew about her before that. And I think having Camila on the team really helped kind of bring her in. And I think we're extremely excited about this. Her only being 20, the composure she has in the ball, her and Morgan and Carly in there. Obviously that's one of the we feel the best midfields in the country.
Let's go back to the Carly Lloyd trade last year with Western New York. I know it was a player you and Randy wanted. How'd it go down?
Look, Carly is one of the best players in the league, in the world, and we, the opportunity came up, they asked us, if this is a possibility, and we said, yeah, for sure, and we gave up a lot for it, Becky Edwards and Engen and a draft pick, but, you know, for us, it was worth it. You know, she's one of those players, if you can get her, you have to go out and get her. And, you know, you look at what she's done last month, being player of the month in the NWSL and scoring some big goals and make some big points for us. You know, we really need her tonight. Hopefully she steps up again in a big way and can put the ball in the back of the net and get us back in this game.
Finally, Brian, 4 games to go, 2 tough road games to come, 2 more at home. What do you think of the playoff push as the Dash try to stay in the top 4?
Look, this game is extremely important for us. We need to win this game. You know, we have 5 games. Well, considering counting this game, 3 of them are against the top 2 teams in the league. You know, Seattle home and away. You know, and that's going to come at a tough stretch for us. But you know, so we need to take care of the games that we're supposed to take care of, and this is a big game we need to take off. But we're in the spot right now, and I think we have a great chance if we can take care of this game, the Boston game, and then one of the games against the top teams.
Brian, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
That's the Dash Managing Director, Brian Chang. We'll take a break. When we come back, second half kickoff. The Dash trying to get back into it. Halftime in Houston. Sky Blue FC 1, Houston Dash nothing.
As a BBVA Compass customer, you have the chance to show your true colors every time you open your wallet.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Presenting Dynamo Banking, featuring debit and credit card options that can help you reach your goals. Open your account today at any of our 80 locations in Houston or online at bbvacompass.com/dynamo. Team works in soccer and in banking.
BHP Billiton is a leading global resources company with mining and oil and gas interests worldwide. Our reputation is built on proven performance, helping provide the energy that keeps the world moving, cities growing, communities thriving. And we combine this innovative spirit with a commitment to sustainability, developing natural resources with responsibility and integrity, today and for years to come. BHP Billiton, resourcing the future.
He's taking the world by storm. Grammy-nominated Ed Sheeran, live in concert. BBVA Compass Stadium, September 3rd, with special guest Christina Perri. Tickets on sale now at bbvacompassstadium.com, axs.com, or by phone. The #1 selling album, Multiply, is in stores and online now. There's more at edsheeran.com. Produced by AEG Live and the Messina Group.
Welcome back to Houston, Texas. A beautiful moon in downtown Houston. Houston Dash with some work to do. 45 minutes to go, and they're down a goal in a game they need to win. Jen LaPont, a great reaction to her contract today on Instagram. It's officially official. 3 years and 5 teams later, I finally found where I'm supposed to be. A serious thank you to everyone who has supported me unconditionally. Working hard is important, but there is something that matters even more: believing in yourself, the one and only Harry Potter. So congratulations to Jen LaPont, her first pro contract, 3 years in the making.
And she's been all over this league, training with almost every club. She said 5 of them, including Houston. But today is her first time to be in that jersey on a paid professional contract.
Sky Blue will kick off, and Nadeem, the goal scorer, gets us underway. Arguably the biggest 45 minutes of the Dash season right now. The big road game looming in Seattle. And 3 of their final 4 games after tonight against the top 2 teams in the league. This is a game they need a result from. A tie would work. They probably need a win, if you want to be honest. Sky Blue needs wins in bunches. If they want to keep their playoff hopes alive, they need 3 points. So should be a very entertaining 45 minutes.
It's going to be so hard for anyone to catch Seattle or Chicago. Not impossible, but difficult. But that number 3 and number 4 spot are within reach by almost anybody. That being said, a Houston win tonight would put Boston in the position that they would have to win this weekend to avoid being eliminated. Of course, right now Houston down 1-0 to Sky Blue. Not an unfamiliar position for them. The previous 2 matches at Sky Blue, they were down 1-0 and came back to equalize.
Cameron too heavy on her clearance. She tried to find Cami 11. Ojai. Good service. It's just past Henderson as it got by Caitlin Ford. Henderson 3 good chances in that first half. 1 forced a good save. 1 came off her shoulder. The other off the mark. Friels.
And Matt, you had mentioned earlier that if Henderson scored, it'd be her first regular season goal. You know, she knows what it's like to be in the playoffs. She scored a playoff goal for Kansas City in their 2013 playoffs. They did, however, lose to Portland in that semifinal.
Cutshaw. Levin a heavy touch. McDonald won it momentarily, but Levin regains it. Former Stanford Cardinal. Here's Ojai. Good service, another chance for Henderson, and a save by Brittany Cameron. So I think it was going wide anyway, but Cameron made sure it would go wide. That movement happened in a matter of moments as Ojai got the cross away. Hard charging Henderson, just like in the first half, coming in from her left wing position and shadowed the entire way by Caitlin Ford. Here's Henderson with the corner kick. Headed out. Andressa cleared. Decent hit from the Brazilian, but cleared off the line by Sky Blue. And now a corner kick for the Dash. It came off the foot of Lindsay Cutshaw. So the crowd coming to life on that Walker end where the supporters groups are most lively at Dash and Dynamo home games. Another corner kick for Melissa Henderson. Flaring header from Nadim. Ojai into the mixer. Lloyd tried to redirect. Dash continue to apply the pressure. Good touch by Brush. Henderson could get there in time. And Cameron makes the claim in front of Morgan Bryant.
Brush, of course, had that great equalizer last home game against Kansas City. Her first Dash goal. Could have had another.
Sam Kerr. Masser heads away, picked up Friels. Back wide Kerr. Now Morgan Bryant. That's a good ball down towards the corner. McDonald will get there against Rampone. Jess McDonald. Good delivery, just a bit behind by Lloyd. But Lloyd liked it. Gives an acknowledgement to McDonald, who had a great service on one of the opportunities for Henderson. Just a hair behind Carly Lloyd, right near the penalty spot. Deep throw in. Cami Levin, the Newport Coast, California native. And the assist on the winning goal for Stanford back in the 2011 NCAA title game. Presley with Klingenberg. Now it's Henderson. Not the best ball. Tried to find Ojai, but it was right to the feet of O'Hara. Now here's O'Hara. Possibilities for Sky Blue. Good defending by Brush. She sensed the run from Nadim and got in the path of O'Hara's ball. And now another offside by the Dash. Give credit to Sky Blue. They've kept the line high. They've kept it organized. And even on innocuous plays like that around midfield, Dash a bit offside. Switching ball from Cutshaw. She's from Park City, Utah. Stayed home, went to BYU. Strong clearing header by Brush. Bryan with Lloyd. Lloyd against Rampone. Rampone thought she was fouled, and she was. The referee saw it in the end. Over 500 caps combined between those two, Carly Lloyd and Christy Rampone. And Lloyd may have just tugged at that left hand of Christy Rampone to get by her. Good battle from the two vets. Now a Dash thrown on the near side. Nifty ball for Morgan Bryan. Ohai returns it to Bryan. 3 in the box now for Morgan Bryan. Where will she go? And a clearing header from Rampone. Ohai trying to keep it alive. Friels did just enough for Sky Blue. And out comes Nikki Stanton. Kerr with Nadim to her right. Sam Kerr. Nadim with possibilities on the cross. O'Hara back into the middle. Friels trying to heel it on goal, but good defending from Houston.
Definitely seeing the urgency from the Dash, Matt, that I think they lacked a little bit in the first half. They know what's on the line, you know, when you've got 2 games against Seattle coming up. And of course, another period where they'll be missing U.S. national teamers, at least for practice.
Nadim this time well wide past Erin McLeod, but anytime she's in the penalty area against the Dash, Dash fans take notice. Keep up with Keeper Notes to stay in touch with all the latest women's soccer news on Facebook, Twitter, and at keepernotes.com. You better keep her notes. With Jen Cooper, I'm Matt Peterson. 53rd minute from BBVA Compass Stadium. Sky Blue FC in front 1-0. Nadia Nadim, her 4th goal of the year off a great assist from Cami Levin, her first of the year. Didn't have any last year either. Lloyd out wide, has some runners. But too close to Cameron. Kelly O'Hara. Kerr with Nadim. Sam Kerr. Presley got a toe on it. Ohai with Lloyd. Back to Kalia Ohai.
It's interesting to see, Matt, that it seems like Kaylee Ohai and Carly Lloyd have almost switched positions. That Kaylee is coming pretty deep back into midfield with Bryan, and Carly Lloyd's up with Jessica McDonald.
Yeah, very interesting roles tonight for the front 6 of the Houston Dash. Morgan Bryan. Too much on it. She was looking for Henderson. Friels. Back heel for O'Hara. Now it's Nadim. Kerr liking that right flank in this half. Masser heads away. Deflected shot. Another heel from O'Hara. Corner kick to Sky Blue. That was an untracked Nikki Stanton who broke free at the top of the box. Her shot redirected by O'Hara. Corner kick, Sky Blue. Houston Dash bench getting a few substitutes loose. Rachel Axon, Tiffany McCarty, and Camilla. Corner kick for Sky Blue, O'Hara to take. Off the top of the head of Nadim, kept alive on the near side. Friels. Heavy service. Henderson did not want to take a chance, so she heads it out for another corner kick. For all your updates on Houston Dynamo, Houston Dash, TSU football, and more, make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BBVA Compass Stadium. O'Hara set for yet another corner kick. Tracked down by Friels. No one close to her, driven in the middle. Dash a bit lucky there. It's going to be a goal kick, but no one seemed to want to.
That ball threaded the
Friels.
needle.
Yeah.
I can't believe that didn't accidentally deflect on someone into the net.
Lloyd was closest, but Friels had time to settle it, pick up her head, and drive it through the 6-yard box. Set piece defending has been a constant issue for the Houston Dash this season. Haven't been burned as much of late as they were in the first half. Lloyd through the middle finds Klingenberg. Andressa, the 20-year-old from Brazil. Sky Blue doing a great job just getting numbers around the ball. Seem like they know where Houston Dash want to go. Friels for Sky Blue. Expected an advancing run from Nadim. It didn't come. Dash regained possession. Oheim bursting forward as she loves to do. McDonald to her left, but 5 Sky Blue defenders nearby. Oheim goes for the cross, and it's just off the top of the bar. Cameron may have had a touch. She does not. And that combination again, Oheim for McDonald. Beautiful cross from Oheim. And not the most balanced header from McDonald. She was still backing up. Didn't really get her lower half underneath her. Randy Waldrum, I think, thought it was touched by Cameron, but off a shaky goal kick, Henderson. And now Lloyd high and wide. But you seldom see Randy Waldrum get that upset on the sideline. He was arguing with the near side referee. He thought it came off the hand of Cameron, which would have led to a Houston Dash corner kick. But in the end, it actually worked out okay for the Dash. It was a soft goal kick from Cameron. The Dash had a chance with Lloyd missing from 20 yards. Brittany Cameron, 28 years old, went to Dublin High School, Dublin, California. Andressa foul by Nadim, free kick Houston.
And you know, I have to say, Matt, it was actually this game against Sky Blue last year that for the first time we saw Dash coach ejected. It wasn't Randy Waldrum, though. It was assistant coach Steve Brands.
Nasser, heavy touch, she recovers. Got a lot of Kerr in the process as McDonald tries to get past Cutshaw. Good strength from Cutshaw to not allow McDonald to turn, who looks a little bit nicked up. And Kerr is also shaken a bit. She stayed down on one knee, and now she walks back towards the attacking half. Stanton with Killian. Caitlin Ford for Sky Blue. Hard tackle by Brush. Free kick Sky Blue as She clipped Katie Friels from behind. Brush did not like the call from our referee, Christopher Spivey. Very aggressive from Ellie Brush. Looked like a good tackle. She got her first leg in, made contact with that outstretched left. On first replay, looked like a fair challenge. Well, now a dangerous set piece for Sky Blue. Friels is going to take this right into the wall. So the dash had 5 there, it worked, and now a break. Lloyd with Ojai, it's just a bit long from Lloyd, but it's returned right to Henderson. Her touch lets her down. And now Sky Blue back the other way as the game opens up. Nadim looking for her second, but it's right at McLeod. The dash, if they can push forward, they have numbers up there. McLeod recognizes that, finds Morgan Bryant. Andressa steps in front of Lloyd, but she keeps possession for Houston. 62nd minute, 1-0 Sky Blue FC. The goal scored by Nadia Nadim in the first half. Soft back pass, Cameron didn't want to take any chances. She clears it out, Houston with a throw-in. And McDonald likely set for another long one. This presented some problems for Sky Blue in the first half.
And they got scored on in their last game from a weak back pass.
McDonald elects to go short to Morgan Bryant. Chested down, Stanton. Klingenberg for Houston. Megan Klingenberg. A handball on Sky Blue. Free kick, Houston hit the right hand of Sam Kerr. No arguments from her. Dangerous set piece. Kerr very disappointed in herself. And this is Carly Lloyd territory. It was Klingenberg that made the play. Bouncing actually hit the left hand of Sam Kerr. This is about 27 yards from goal. Andressa standing nearby. Carly Lloyd against a 5-man wall for Sky Blue. Dead center, Brittany Cameron in goal for Sky Blue FC. And here's Lloyd. And it's kept out by Brittany Cameron. Two-handed save. She dove to her left. Lloyd hands on hips. And Cameron comes up big again. She stopped a penalty against the Dash in late May. That time she read it well. A bending effort from Carly Lloyd, and the fingertips of Cameron keep Sky Blue in front 1-0. Henderson set for another corner kick. What a save that time. It was Presley with the header, and the fist of Cameron kept it out. Now she pushes it away unconventionally, tries to dribble, clears it off Lloyd to goal kick to Sky Blue. So Cameron a bit excited there. I think her fist stopped the header from Presley as she could not get to it. Yeah, and just keeping that fist in the air. Good goalkeeping. Was initially beaten, but Presley's header denied by Cameron's fist. Neither team has used a substitute here in the 64th minute. Tiffany McCarty might be the first for Houston. She takes off her warm-up bib and walks over towards the Houston bench. Nadim back for Kerr, the Australian, running at Klingenberg. Kerr with good pace, but Klingenberg did well in the end. Kerr, 21, she's already been to 2 World Cups. Made her international debut age 15 in 2009. It just defies logic.
And she's already been in some club finals. She and Caitlin Ford for Perth Glory, they went all the way to the final last year, hosting it in Perth, losing to Canberra United 3-1 with that first goal scored by the Dash's own Stephanie Oakes.
Here's Brush with Masser. Dash need a goal. But again, good defending by Sky Blue. They're back in blocks. Poor ball by Brush as he tried to find Brian. Sky Blue looked to counter through Nadim. Now it's Caitlin Ford. Too long that time for O'Hara in the dash with a goal kick. It seems like Houston, whenever they get into these advanced positions, very organized Sky Blue defense to break down. Lloyd with the flicked header. Cameron off her line to clear in front of McDonald. And Lloyd gives a thumbs up to McLeod. Cutshaw clears, Dash with a throw-in. Again, Henderson. Back, Masser, that's a pretty good ball. Punched away by Cameron, just to the left of McDonald. Henderson tries to return it to Brian. Here comes Sarah Killian through the middle for Sky Blue FC. Here's Andressa trying to unlock this Sky Blue defense. Picks out McDonald. Here's Lloyd. Lloyd puts her hand up. She wanted Klingenberg but couldn't get a pass. And Sky Blue right back, Caitlin Ford. Here comes Sky Blue, dangerous counterattack. Kelly O'Hara. Early delivery, wanted Sam Kerr. Here comes Friels to run it down. Alabama native, played at Auburn University. Katie Friels. Now it's Stanton. Sky Blue content to keep the ball and just milk away this clock. Nadim, good fake on Henderson, and that one is well off the mark. Get social with the Houston Dash. Like us, follow us, and watch us on all of your favorite social media outlets to get extended coverage of your Houston Dash. Log on to houston-soccer.com/social media for your social media dashboard. There's the first change of the night for either team. Tiffany McCarty comes on for Melissa Henderson, 69th minute. A lot of good chances for Henderson, 3 in the first half, 1 more in the second, but not on the score sheet. Her best chance, maybe that first opportunity off the restart from McLeod that fell to her, and she was aware and ready. Left-footed volley, great save by Brittany Cameron. Good flick that time by Lloyd. Ojai just a bit behind the play, but that's been a good offensive move for the Dash coming off the foot of McLeod. Lloyd, such good timing in the air, putting it in the path of her attacking teammates.
Matt, I feel like we're seeing such a higher pace being played this half. I think this is what both coaches talked about, what they hoped for the first half. You know, much more back and forth than what we saw in the first half.
McDonald lays it off, targeting Brian. And Sky Blue able to clear. Friels against Andressa. Yeah, definitely what Randy Waldron would have wanted from the get-go. And now Nadim called for a foul. Too much contact, shoulder to shoulder against Ellie Brush.
And you know Sky Blue is thinking of the playoffs as much as the Dash is. They, didn't make the playoffs in 2014 after that great run towards the end of the season. They snuck into the playoffs in 2013. They got that 4 seed, losing to top seed Western New York Flash. And you look back to WPS, they did win the inaugural.
Here's McCarty picking up a loose ball. Tiffany McCarty pulls it wide. What a chance that was. Just off the bench. She just lost the ball, regains it, 1 versus 1 against Brittany Cameron and couldn't hit the target. Great recovery from McCarty after she lost it. Good close by Cameron. She got well off her line to make the angle difficult. Cami Levin. Cutshaw.
So you know Sky Blue is trying to channel those glory days of 2009. 4th seed, but they played 3 road games in 8 days. Coached by player coach Christy Rampone, won the WPS Championship Final 1-0 over the LA Soul.
Nadine beats the offside line. Nadine, good save McLeod, still alive. At the top of the area, good block by Presley, now Friels. And she can't hit the target. Good second chance that time for Sarah Killian. 3 good chances in quick order. First Nadine, then Killian, finally Katie Friels. And a big save by McLeod. Probably her best of the night, at least her most important.
Yeah, McLeod has been so solid since returning from the Women's World Cup. You know, she had a pretty good tournament for Canada, and they didn't finish quite where they wanted to, but it's so great to see her continue that form.
Didn't practice at all this week, dealing with a bad shin. Good touch that time. Sam Kerr, she's in behind against Masser. Sam Kerr against McLeod. Great block, Masser, but Kerr puts away the second chance. It's a huge road goal for Sky Blue FC. They double the lead. Sam Kerr, her 3rd of the season, initially denied by a Lamasser, but kept her composure, and on the second effort, she made no mistake. A bit of a fortunate bounce for Kerr after Masser timed her block perfectly, but no one there to help Masser with the rebounds. 1 versus 1 completely. And Sky Blue FC, a bit of an unlikely result right now. They lead 2-0.
And Kerr just joined the club a month ago, and that's already her 3rd goal along with 2 assists.
Yeah, if you're Randy Waldrum, you'd love to have some help for Masser back there. She did all she could to slow down Kerr, block the initial shot. You would think Brush, Presley, or even Klingenberg would be back to help, but the play developed so quickly. A innocuous through ball, good turn from Kerr, and the Australian just a predator on that goal. Ojai trying to turn against Levin. Deflected service. It's going to be a goal kick. I thought it was deflected, but it was not, as Levin went to contest. Goal kick for Brittany Cameron and Sky Blue FC. Cameron spent 1 year with Vegalta Sendai in Japan. Also previously Western New York Flash and FC Gold Pride out of USD, University of San Diego. McCarty with the delivery. McDonald will run it down. She'll need help around the area. 4 flood the box for the dash. Tried to pick out Andressa, but good defending by Friel. She settled it and quickly found O'Hara. She goes over the top. Flag is down. McLeod off her line. And she'll make the play against Kerr. Lightning fast counterattack from Sky Blue FC. That play developed right at the top of the box as Friels won it against Andressa. 2-0 Sky Blue. The dash since the World Cup has mostly done the job. against teams above them or near them in the standings, but tonight a team behind Houston in the standings with a 2-0 lead on the road as we have our second hydration break of the night. Comes here in the 76th minute. So due to the weather, over 90 degrees, we will take about a 90-second break. We'll stay here on the broadcast. And Jen, we mentioned it in the very opening of the broadcast, but a good College Cup story you have from College Station.
All right, the last time College Station hosted the College Cup, 2009, you had two players from tonight featuring in that match. Kaylee O'Hara for Stanford, their leading scorer. Jessica McDonald for North Carolina. Jessica scored the winning goal. Kaylee O'Hara ejected from the match, but I'm sure they both remember that match well.
And O'Hara, I believe, the Herman Trophy winner that year.
Yes, she was.
At Stanford. Don't miss the Dash as they take on the Seattle Reign. Friday, August 21st, 7 p.m. right here at BBVA Compass Stadium. Tickets are on sale now. Log on to houston-soccer.com today.
And that will be the second of the away and home series against the #1 team in the standings right now.
And interesting, Jen, it might be coming on the heels of the early stages of that victory tour.
Right, the U.S. have their first 2 matches of the 10-game victory tour. First, they'll be in Pittsburgh, Megan Klingenberg's hometown, on August 16th. Already more than 40,000 tickets sold for that match. Then August 19th, which is just 2 days before that Dash Seattle game, they'll be in Chattanooga. So there are at least no league games scheduled in that period other than one reschedule. But that does mean the Dash players will be coming straight back from that match.
But for the immediate future, the big concern for the Houston Dash is
tonight
overcoming this 2-0 deficit. And they'll start by bringing on Rachel Axon on for Tony Presley. So we'll see if Waldrum goes to 3 at the back or if Axon goes to center back. But I'm guessing a 3-man back line for the rest of the way for the Dash, with Brush, the lone center back, Klingenberg on the left, Masser on the right. And we'll see if they put Lloyd just right underneath McDonald or push her higher up the field or just add Axon to a 5-man midfield.
You know, maybe you just push Ella Masser all the way up and we just go to a 2-man back.
It might get that way. It might get that way. We'll see how this unfolds. Dash facing a huge spot in their season. Still 4 games to go, but as we said, 2 tough road games at Chicago, at Seattle. And then home games against Boston and the Seattle Reign.
And you've got 4 NWSL matches this weekend, 4 more next Wednesday. You know, in less than a week, the playoff picture will be very, very clear. There's a really good chance that Seattle and Chicago could be clinching their playoff berths by next Wednesday.
Nadia Nadim in the 39th minute, Sam Kerr in the 72nd. The big name players for Sky Blue getting it done tonight.
You know, Matt, this season will be the first time that NWSL extends play into September. The regular season ending over Labor Day weekend, and then September 13th we'll see both semifinals, the #1 and #2 seeds hosting. And then the final will be played on October 1st. And all 3 playoff games will be on Fox Sports 1.
Good build up initially, and then there's that final ball letting down the Dash again. It was Andressa and Lloyd running things through the middle, and then Ojai just off the mark. Frustration building up for the Dash tonight at home, trailing 2-0. Sky Blue advancing forward, Nadim. Sarah Killian. Again, Kerr. Corner kick for Sky Blue. Klingenberg did enough to deny the cross, but Kerr does her job. Tireless work rate for Sam Kerr. Traded from Western New York. The #4 pick in this year's draft. Western New York wheeling and dealing last season. Delivery towards the near post, targeting Stanton. Back to O'Hara. Another header. This one is wide. It's a goal kick. That one came from Lindsay Cutshaw. We have our official attendance tonight. Another good crowd, Jen. Over 6,000. We're at 6,216.
And that's in the top 5 of all-time attendance for the Houston Dash. But I bet with that Seattle home game, hosting Seattle on August 21st, that we'll see another really big number.
And that would be awesome for the franchise here in Houston if that was the kind of the new watermark. That was the average, the expectation, game in, game out. Here comes O'Hara against McCarty. Good ball, but the flag is up. The flag is up as Nadeem smashes it off the crossbar. It was very close. Good ball right between 2 of the 3 members of the Dash back line. Again, Presley was taken off for accident, so it's more or less a 3-man back line for Houston. And then again, we see the Dash as they have been tonight, not on the same page. Klingenberg played it behind Jess McDonald. Now a delivery from the right side. No problem for Aaron McLeod. Dash about 10 minutes to go to make up this 2-goal deficit.
You know, Matt, you were talking about Sam Kerr. You know, this is her 3rd season with NWSL, and she's been an outstanding performer in each of her 3 seasons. So, you know, she is in the top 10 of all-time regular season goals for the league. She's got 18 after her score tonight, just behind, tied with Christine Sinclair and just behind 5 other players. And, of course, 2 of those 5 players are playing for the Dash, Jessica McDonald and Carly Lloyd.
Andressa. Now Lloyd, back to Bryan. Ojai tries to turn, pass Levin, and again, Levin does enough as Ojai's service caught at the near post by McDonald. Been a stout defensive effort. Levin has done a great job on the left side, Caitlin Ford on the right side, and then Cutshaw and Rampone, the center backs for Sky Blue. Here's Nadia Nadeem, a first half goal. Now she goes wide right, O'Hara. Back Nadeem, she settles it. And Brush does enough. Good settle that time by Nadeem in a crowd, not afraid to take it down. Here come the Dash. Lloyd with Ojai. Ojai just not aware of the defender nearby, Nikki Stanton. Dash play on, and Andressa lays it back, Morgan Bryant. Clipped in, just too long for Carly Lloyd. It's a goal kick to the Dash. Perhaps fatigue a factor in this one on this warm night.
I remember we asked Carly Lloyd after the last home game what it was like to play with Andressa, especially with the language barrier, and she said, you know, she speaks the language of soccer, that they could just look each other in the eye and know what to do. And you can see that Andressa's so comfortable on the ball.
Masser gets there ahead of Nadeem. Cutshaw strong in the air against Jess McDonald. It's a Sky Blue throw it. 2 games tomorrow. Boston hosts Washington, and Western New York Flash visits FC Kansas City. On Sunday, it's Portland hosting the Chicago Red Stars.
Yeah, I was incorrect when I said there are 4 games this weekend. I should have been clear that I included ours as the 4th game. And that Portland-Chicago game will be on Fox Sports.
Great partner of the league. Tonight's game on Fox Sports Go. A Dash will have one on Fox Sports 1, that Seattle game on the 21st. But more and more coverage of a women's professional league here in the U.S. Now Lloyd. Cycles wide, Ojai. McCarty making a run at the back post. Ojai just a bit off with her delivery. Dash likely the closest eye on that FC Kansas City, Western New York flash game. Nadim goes down, ref lets them play. A Portland win would vault them past the Dash, as would a win for Kansas City. I think Dash would hope for a tie between Kansas City and Western New York tomorrow.
Portland's win this last Wednesday was huge for the franchise. They've had a lot of winless and even in some cases a losing streak. To get 5 goals at home, those 3 points, you know, pushing them in the position they need to be, but gaining that confidence back, and to get 5 goals from 4 different players.
Now we'll see a change. Taylor Lytle. So Friel's another good shift for her. She continues her strong season. She comes off. 87th minute change. Taylor Lytle, 26-year-old, Las Cruces, New Mexico native, played at Texas Tech. It's a good ball from Klingenberg. McCarty onside. McCarty back to her left. And it's a corner kick. Great defending in the end. Lindsay Cutshaw. She denied the cross to Jess McDonald, who was mostly wide open at the edge of the 6-yard box. Cutshaw had a great night defending. Andressa. Now Klingenberg. No one there for Houston after it was knocked down by Ellie Brush. This would be Brittany Cameron's 3rd shutout of the season. She's had to deal with so much traffic in front of her. As we said, the most saves on the year, 73, 29 more than the next closest, Nicole Barnhart of FC Kansas City.
And that was before tonight.
First touches for Taylor Lytle. Her goal in the 72nd minute made it 2-0. Lytle. Her 13th appearance of the year. Good turn for Morgan Bryan. Disappointed in her through ball as she was targeting Jess McDonald. Now Sky Blue may try to slow this down. We're in the 89th minute from Houston, Texas. Sky Blue FC, a well-deserved 2-0 lead. Dash have had opportunities but have not taken them in both halves. Cameron's made some saves, but the Dash will probably rue their missed chances tonight if this score holds.
A loss tonight doesn't change where Houston is in the standings right now, but as you mentioned before, what happens this weekend could impact it greatly.
Ohio with McDonald. She turns. Dash with 6 forward. Ohio delivering, and Lloyd again just couldn't get the angle right on that header. Strong deliver, maybe slightly behind the Dash midfielder Carly Lloyd, but just a touch off. Andressa called for a high kick by Sarah Killian in the vicinity. Killian, part of the U20 World Cup winning side in 2012. as we will have 4 minutes added on. So the Dash with 4 minutes to work with to try to pull 2 goals back. I think after all this, they would certainly take a draw, but they got to get 1 goal first and then worry about the second. Sky Blue will take its time before this throw-in. McLeod wants to go long. Likely targeting Lloyd or Jess McDonald with this goal kick. There's Cutshaw once again. You can see why this is her 14th start in a rookie season. Not a rookie season, she was number 4 pick a few years ago. But experience with the U23s, U20s as well. Ojai against Kemi Levin. Help provided by Stanton. Ojai still spins out of it. Good delivery, palmed away Cameron, and a clearance in the end. That was Caitlin Ford denying Tiffany McCarty. Coco Goodson preparing to come on for Sky Blue FC. Another late change from Jim Gabera. Ojai pushed off the ball. Referee lets them play. That was Sam Kerr coming. Judged to be clean by our referee tonight, Christopher Spivey.
I can see why Randy Waldron put Rachel Axon in the back with Ellie Brush. You know, they were teammates before in Norway, so there's kind of an easy communication between them.
Another good win, Sarah Killian. Outstanding work tonight against that very talented Dash 3-man midfield. Jen, Sky Blue came out of the World Cup with 7 points. They win tonight, they'll have 10 since the World Cup and moved to 17 on the season with 10 points in their last 5 games.
And keeping those playoff hopes alive. You know, this far into the season last year, we already had teams eliminated. At this point, we don't.
Andressa, Lloyd's onside. Brittany Cameron makes a great save, diving to her right to deny Carly Lloyd. Just been that kind of night for the Dash.
Michael Spivey shaking his head very fiercely to make it clear that he was not giving a PK call there.
What a performance from Brittany Cameron. Came out aggressively as she likes to do. Dove to right, got her hand on the ball. Also made contact with Carly Lloyd, but that would have made the final moments interesting. And as it is, there's the final whistle. So the Dash with a big one at home before the tough 4 games that will end this season. They do not get the job done. They fall to Sky Blue FC. Our final score from BBVA Compass Stadium is Sky Blue FC 2, the Houston Dash nothing. The goal scorers, Nadia Nadim, 39th minute goal, and then Sam Kerr in the 72nd minute. We'll come back, we'll look at the highlights, and we'll wrap things up. Sky Blue 2, Houston Dash nothing.
As a BBVA Compass customer, you have the chance to show your true colors every time you open your wallet.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Presenting Dynamo Banking, featuring debit and credit card options that can help you reach your goals. Open your account today at any of our 80 locations in Houston or online at bbvacompass.com/dynamo. Team works in soccer and in banking.
BHP Billiton is a leading global resources company with mining and oil and gas interests worldwide. Our reputation is built on proven performance, helping provide the energy that keeps the world moving, cities growing, communities thriving. And we combine this innovative spirit with a commitment to sustainability, developing natural resources with responsibility and integrity, today and for years to come. BHP Billiton, resourcing the future.
From the first time the ball hit the back of the net, we could feel a sport on the rise. Our passion burning, our tradition building, our city united. Amongst a sea of orange, we are the home field advantage. We began, we will remain, forever orange, forever one.
Pioneering ways to protect neurons and give ALS patients more time. Personalizing drug treatments to treat the most aggressive breast cancer. Performing multi-organ transplants to fight the most complex illnesses. Creating options for patients who thought they had none. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Back here at BBVA Compass Stadium, post-game, and welcome back to the broadcast booth with Jen Cooper. I'm Matt Peterson, and Sky Blue FC keeping those playoff hopes alive. A goal in the first half, a goal in the second for a deserved 2-0 win. Let's get right to the highlights from the Sky Blue FC road win, and we go to the second half highlights. Ojai with the service, Henderson defended well, and then it was Lloyd, her service, across from McDonald, maybe just a little bit behind Lloyd. And then it was Nadine looking for her second goal of the night. She missed wide. Lloyd too close to Cameron. That was O'Hara with a cheeky back heel. Forced in a save from McLeod. McDonald could not keep that down after a quality cross from Ojai. And the Dash tried to break off this set-piece counter-attack. Night of frustration for Houston. Nadeem, easy claim for McLeod, and then another huge save, Brittany Cameron. Carly Lloyd trying to beat her with the set-piece, but fingertip save, and then McCarty just off the bench. She had a good chance, did not hit the target, and then the big goal, Sam Kerr, denied the first time. Great tackle by Masser, but would not be stopped with the second. Big celebration from the Australian. And then Ojai, her cross, easy catch for McLeod. Now full-time stats here in Houston. And here we go. 15 shots for each team. So the weather didn't deter the offensive side of the game. 7 corner kicks for Sky Blue, 6 for the Dash, and a few more fouls for Houston. Well, Jen, disappointing night in all respects for the Houston Dash. Sky Blue keeps their playoff chances alive. It would never be easy for Houston. It's going to get really tough now. 2 against Seattle, 1 against Chicago.
And with tonight's result against Sky Blue, it means Sky Blue has the tiebreaker against Houston if it comes down to a tiebreaker for that third or fourth spot. And then moving ahead, playing Seattle at Seattle, hosting Seattle at home with those U.S. games in the middle. It's a very tough road for Houston. It's not over yet, still 4 games to play, a lot of soccer to be played to finish out this season. It's going to go down to the wire.
Jen, kind of interesting. I think Sky Blue, they've had their World Cup returnees back a little bit longer. They're Australians, obviously some that didn't go. They seemed a little bit more cohesive tonight than the Dash, who have had their Americans in and out.
Well, they probably haven't had the Carly Lloyd effect that the Houston Dash have with, we talked on the broadcast about Carly making trips all over the USA, which is great for women's soccer, but it means that she could not practice with the team nearly as much as, say, Kelly O'Hara and Christy Rampone have been with Sky Blue.
Well, Sky Blue will stay on the road. They go to Chicago next week. And the Dash, they go to Seattle. They come home Friday, August 21st here at BBVA Compass Stadium. We'll wrap things up here from BBVA Compass Stadium. A disappointing night for the Dash. A bright night for Sky Blue FC. Nadia Nadim, Sam Kerr the goals, Brittany Cameron, a big night, her 3rd shutout of the season. And Sky Blue hope to play over the final 4 games. Good night from Houston.